I finally got my hands on Eros Energy. This is one that I have been looking forward to for a long time. What's up and welcome to my channel, E Smells Good. If you're a fan of fragrances or a fan of fragrance related content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on everything that I post from here going forward. So today we're going to be doing a bit of an unboxing and first impression of Versace's Eros Energy. Now, this is technically not their newest release in the Eros line, but it took me up until probably a month ago to finally get my nose on it. But I still consider this a bit of a first impression because I did not put it on skin. I only smelled it on a tester strip. I really enjoyed it. My girlfriend really enjoyed it. So, baby, if you're watching, I listened to you, and now we have Eros Energy in the collection. Here's what the box is going to look like. It is a yellowish, almost goldish looking color to the box with your classic Medusa head logo there on the front, and it reads Versace Eros Energy Pour Homme. Nothing fancy about the box, just your traditional designer box. And here we have the bottle itself, your classic Versace Eros bottle, only this one, the coloration is a yellow with a bit of a, I would describe it as like a deep shade of bronze for the cap itself. Now, personally, I am a fan of the bottle. I like the color. I think that it's in line with this whole energy theme. Now, I do have the notes pulled up off to the side. For the main accords, there's just citrus. That is the only accord that is listed on this fragrance. In the top, we have lemon, lime, grapefruit, blood orange, Sicilian bergamot, and mandarin orange. So there is a ton of citrus in the top of this fragrance. In the mid, we have white amber, pink pepper, black currant. And in the base, we have oak moss, musk, and patchouli. So based off of that note breakdown, there is a lot of citrus in this fragrance. It almost to me seems like they asked the perfumer, what citruses do you want to use? And they just said, yes. They got to that lemon, lime, and bergamot, and the perfumer said, we need more. So the time that I did test this one out at the mall, I sprayed it on a tester strip. Really enjoyed it. I definitely got the comparisons that people have made to Creed Aventus. I definitely was able to pick up on that. But overall, I really enjoyed it, enough so that I was willing to purchase a full bottle. In the air, I'm getting a lot of citruses, and I am getting something that is reminiscent of that Creed Aventus DNA. And I believe what's giving it that Creed Aventus vibe, you do have a lot of similar notes in the mid and in the base of this fragrance that are very similar to Creed Aventus. You have that pink pepper, that black currant, the oak moss, the musk, the patchouli. So there's a lot in here that is also found in Creed Aventus. So it's no surprise that people get that similarity. And I'm definitely picking up on it, even just in the air right now. However, this one is leaning a lot more citrusy than Creed Aventus does. Off my skin, I'm still getting a ton of those citruses, but I'm also getting a little more of the pepper and what I believe is the oak moss. If I had to draw any comparison, I would say that this one is a lot more similar to Creed Aventus Cologne than it is to the original Creed Aventus. But even with that comparison, turn the citruses up 1,000 and then you get this one. I've also seen a lot of comparisons to those like lemon candies, and I definitely get that vibe because behind those citruses, there is a very slight sweetness to this one. And I think that that's coming from either that white amber, or for me personally, sometimes patchouli kind of has a slight sweetness to it. So there's something in the background of the fragrance that's sitting behind those citruses, but still giving it a little tiny hint of a sweetness. I will say, just smelling this one, it is a lot more magical in the air than it is directly off skin. When I'm getting wafts of it, I'm really enjoying it. I can't stress that enough. But when I smell it directly off my skin, it kind of feels like these citruses and some of those other earthy notes are not wanting to cooperate with each other. It kind of seems like they're all kind of fighting for the spotlight and no one's really coming out on top. But in the air, it's all coming together and comes across a lot better blended, at least on my skin. So with that being said, this is one that I would recommend if you haven't already gotten your nose on it, or even if you have, Don't dig your nose directly into this one. Spray it and kind of let this one come to you versus you going to it. Now, of course, this is just a first impression, so I cannot speak on longevity, I can't speak on compliment factor or any of those things. But what I can say is, off of this initial impression, I really enjoy this fragrance. And I can see this one being probably a very easy reach for me in the summertime. Now, I will say you have to be a fan of citruses to enjoy this fragrance. If you do not like citruses, skip over this one altogether because the citruses are very prominent. They are very much in the forefront of this fragrance, and all those other notes are only there to support the citrus. Something that is throwing me off a bit is there's no remnant of the Versace Eros DNA in Versace Eros Energy. And for me personally, I don't like when flankers are released and they have nothing to do with the original fragrance. If anything, I feel like this would have been a better fit in the Versace Pour Homme line. This could have been a very good flanker to that line of fragrances, but it does not feel like it belongs in the Eros lineup at all. Overall, I'd have to say that I really do enjoy this one. I think that it is a nice release from the house. Wish it was in a different bottle, but overall, very good release. I really enjoy the scent. I'm very curious to see what the performance and longevity and how it's going to be perceived off of my skin by others. But I'll have to do some full wearings and then come back to you all for a full review on that. Definitely one that I'm excited to have in the collection and definitely excited to give it some wears this summer. But that's going to be it for my unboxing slash first impression of Versace Eros Energy. Drop a comment and let me know what your experience with the fragrance has been like. Do you enjoy it? Do you feel the way I feel about it being in the Eros lineup? Let's get a dialogue going. Let's get some conversations rolling. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It does so much to support my channel. And until next time, peace.